Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Can you guys hear me? Can someone give me a thumbs up? Awesome. Thank you all guys for joining this session. We are going to have a full 1 hour, uh, you know, sorry, there's some message. Yeah, so I think so everyone can hear me, right? Awesome. So this next 1 hour, right, we are going to do lots of learning on the AI. Thanks all, first of all, for registering and joining this session. We'll jump right into our agenda. I'll first share my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen. Can someone give? Okay, participants are still joining in, but please confirm if you are able to see my screen, please. Awesome. So let's get started, guys. First of all, I'll introduce myself. We are going, the session is all about, AI and how AI is going to change the entire landscape of the project management. So that's the session that we have here. Uh, I'll first introduce about myself. I'm Viral Shah. I'm into this technology and project management field since last 20 years. Most of the time I have spent with Big Four and then multiple other companies. And during the recent year, I have transitioned myself from just a technology consultant to an AI strategy implementation consultant. There are organizations where I'm helping them, implement these strategies related to AI as well as the entire technology strategies. You can all reach me out on my LinkedIn profile. You can just search with Viral or Viral Asha. I'm based in Mumbai, and I work currently with a company called CloudXter. Let's jump onto the agenda items. So we have total 1 hour with us today. The first 45 minutes, we are going to go deep down into understanding what is AI, what are some of the fundamentals of AI, how AI has already changed the landscape, right, of the project management. Will touch base at very high level. I know most of you are project managers, most of you are champions, in managing the projects. Maybe you're a program manager, you are leading a lot of, programs across your organizations. And I know that many of you might already be using AI, but let's see, what is there in store, and how things are going to change as we move forward. And then we will see some of the live examples of how AI has already changed this landscape. We'll quickly touch base on the tools. There are lots of tools which are available, but then I have picked some of the tools which are leading tools, and then which are really, changing the entire game here. And then there'll be a 15 minutes question and answer session at the end. Okay. All ready? Okay, I'll jump onto the session. So first is AI fundamentals. Now this session will go with basic and then we'll touch base some of the advanced concepts, so that I know there will be people, who already know AI, who are already using it. So for them, some of the things might sound very basic, but at the same time, there'll be people who are still new to AI. So first of all, right, what is happening across the world? If you see this, this is a live data from the PMI Institute itself. 80% of the project management task will be automated by AI in just next 4 years. We are already at end of 2025. Just in next 4 years, 80% of your tasks are going to be automated by AI. 86% of the enterprises are ranking AI as their top priority skills. That we all know. There's nothing secret here. There's only 1% of the organization who believes that AI is not mature enough, or there's still time when AI can really take over the task. So you can cut the noise and ensure that it's changing already, and it's already here. Now, when I talk to people, there are many people who still believes, that, oh, AI, I know AI, I use ChatGPT, to query all my doubts and all. But AI is not about ChatGPT, first of all. I must say that ChatGPT is very, very, like a minuscule percentage of what AI is, if you consider the entire artificial intelligence. But still, let's understand, whenever you say AI, I use ChatGPT, you have to understand that you're not talking to a right person, because ChatGPT has just few models, and it has its own use case. Definitely, some of the models are great, but then there are a lot of other companies who has already much better model, or at least they are coming up with a very stronger model for a particular use case. So AI, this is GPT-5, but then recently, just day before yesterday, they already released GPT 5.1. So those models have their specific use case in terms of reasoning and then code generation and all you can definitely do. But then here I want to ensure that you are all aware that there are a lot of good models from Google, in terms of Gemini series, Anthropic Claude, that's one of the most, I trust this model very highly, very safe, very reliable, and the skills of analyzing the financial data is too good, with the Anthropic models. There's a model from Grok, XAI, and there are definitely models from Perplexity. Now, Perplexity model are also very grounded. They have a lot of source citation in their models, right? So we will see all those terms. But first thing, what I want to understand is ChatGPT is not AI. It's a very minuscule percentage of AI. We'll jump on some of the core concepts here. And guys, you all can put your questions down in the question and answers. As we go through this, we'll definitely, I'll keep on answering those questions. And then definitely there's a question and answer session. So if you want to ask something, just put those questions down here. And then I'll ensure that, as we go ahead, we keep on answering those questions. So first of all, as a project manager, whenever you're leading any project, right? I mean, now technology is a part of each and every project. You have to touch base with the technology. There can be a infra project, there can be a chemical project, whatever industry you belong to, you still have to ensure that you're aware of the technologies. Now, when we are talking about I cannot skip this some of the key terms which all of you should understand. Now, all these terms, if you ask me, we can have entire day of session for each and every term. But here, I'm just trying to give you a very high level overview. If you know, it's fine. But if you don't know, at least you should know that, okay, this what these terms mean. Okay, LLM, it's a large language model. In a simple layman language, it's a person who is trained on entire library of data. So imagine that there is a library with lots of books available across all the different sectors like history, geography, science. And let's say there is a person who knows each and every book. That's your LLM, right? Large language model. What is a context window? Context window is how much a person can understand within a short frame of time. So let's say if I give any instruction to a kid, I know that I can give 4 or 5 instruction, but then if I keep on giving more instruction, he will not be able to remember those. So you have to understand what is that context window, how much a person can understand. Prompt engineering, prompt is something which is key, which is base, when you try to use AI. You need to ask right question. You have to frame your query correctly to the AI so that it can come back with a proper answer. And you can see here, better prompts is one better prompt can give you a 10x better result versus a wrong prompt, which can actually give you nothing. The model will just hallucinate. Multimodal AI. Now AI can read text, images, audios. It's not only limited to just text. So that's like multimodal AI. RAG, it's a concept. If you know, it's fine. If you don't know, it's a bit hard to understand, but you have to imagine. RAG is something that if I train someone on a very specific topic, let's say if I am training someone on a math and specifically algebra, then I know that person knows algebra very well, right? So that's what RAG, you kind of additionally train a particular model on a specific area. It's your retrieval augmented generation. Fine tuning, I think so everyone understand. We always, whenever you do anything in your life, whether you write code, you design a product, you always have to fine tune, and that's what fine tuning means. Tokens, for a layman purpose, you can assume that uh, a token is a word, right? One token you can assume as a one word. It's much more complex than that, but at this level, I don't want to confuse you. But it's the token is basically how LLM understands it. LLM still though we feel that LLM is understanding or AI is understanding your English language, behind the scene, it's all about numbers. It's all about binaries, right? So you have to understand that the entire architecture is anyways based on the computer language, which is a binary language. Embeddings. Now, this is a term which, if I have to explain you, it will definitely take more than a day. But at a very high level, what I want to tell you is how close you can relate, different terms. Let's say if I have to say a king and a queen, right? They are related in a way. So whenever you convert any text into an embeddings, the similar words gets embedded together, and that's how AI knows the context, and AI can answer or regenerate the text. Okay, agents will come to know it's basically a virtual human who is going to help you, when you progress in your journey. Hallucination. Hallucination is a term which I typically call whenever people drinks, right? I mean, eventually they will hallucinate. So you have to understand that AI models also will hallucinate. You have to always verify, the information that AI is given, because they can give some wrong information. Chain of thoughts, it's the sequence how you think. Anything, whenever you think, you have steps in your mind. You frame the logical steps in your mind, and that's what the chain of thoughts means. And then few shots learning is again simple term. Now, what are the capabilities that we already know AI is capable of? Can AI read? Yes, it can read thousands, lakhs, millions of pages. Can it write? Yes, there's no limit. It can write whatever you want. You can write poems, essays, or whatever. Can it add? When I say add, it's not about mathematics, but can it add to the context? Can it create a new generation, new text, a new literature? Yes. Think. Now, this is important. You have to understand AI is also able to think critically. It is able to, brainstorm with you and create an idea and guide you, So this is already possible. Okay. And this one last is most important, that we all as a project manager should know. AI can today execute the task as well. Okay. So it's not that only, reading, writing, okay, I can think also, but it can actually go and execute the task. So you can imagine the power of AI, and this is all which AI can do already right now. Okay. Um, Present, yes, AI is able to do all those stuff. Future, AGI, ASI. Trust me, I'll leave this topic to you. If you can go and do some research on AGI and ASI, you will definitely be surprised that where we are heading to as a human race. This is AGI. If it really comes, it's more or less, it's like you will not have any work left for the humans. Okay. So yeah, so this is, I just wanted to at least introduce this concept to you. Any question, type in, but we'll move on to the next topic. Okay, now we know what AI is at a very high level. Again, this is really, not even 10,000, it's like a million feet high view of the AI. Okay. Similarly, let's first understand what we do as a project manager or as a program manager. What are that four key things which which you will end up fighting each and every day, right? Volatility. You can never, predict, and things will keep on changing. There will be certain tax, certain global economical scenarios. There'll be lots of things which will keep on happening, which might impact you one or the other way. So that's volatility, that's uncertainty. Ambiguity, even from small task to large complex, decisions, there is always an ambiguity which is built in. And then complexity is something we are best, at addressing, but still sometimes the things get so much complex that you really feel, that if you could have some helping hands. So these are the book of project management. All of you already know this, but I just thought, I'll touch base on all these terms. Now, again, what PMI says, 65% of the project, fail to meet their original goals. Imagine 65% fail to meet their original goals. And then this is key. Almost more than $100 million gets wasted for every $1 billion investment. So you can imagine more than 10% of whatever client is investing, it's actually a wastage. And the root cause, and this is nothing new to all of you. We all know what can be the root causes. Now let's understand, right? So here I want to actually trigger your thoughts, right? I'm going to touch the five core project management areas. And we'll start with the scope, which is the first one. Now, what we do as a project manager, right? We ensure that all the deliverables are there, the documents are reviewed, we ensure that there's no scope creep. All each and every day you have to ensure that the scope management is followed. What happens typically is most of the time there is a scope creep, there's lost requirement, there are change impacts, you need to work with the dependencies, and there are so many things that it just gets too much, especially when you are deep into the project management, whether it's an IT project, infra project, whatever kind of project it is, right? You eventually get lost with lots of requirements. And then it starts hitting you. Really, actually, you understand when something starts hitting you back and you understand, oh, sorry, I missed a lot of things. So here, a question to you. What if you have a person who can who knows each and every change that has happened, who can immediately predict what kind of impact that change is going to make? It can come up with the details in terms of the cost associated with it. It can come up with the details of the dependencies that it will break. Just imagine that there's one person who knows each and everything. Again, it's just a question. Just imagine what will happen if we can have some kind of person there. Okay, let's come to the second most important thing, the time management. Schedules, duration, you have all the critical path activities. You have to ensure that the tasks are making progress as per the timelines. And again, this data is from the PMI. Most of these data sources are from PMI, that more than 60% of the times we miss the deadlines. Okay. Now imagine there's a person who is able to predict, when you are going to break the timelines. There's a person who is proactively able to identify that, hey, if you don't take a corrective action right now at this stage, you will see a problem 3 weeks down into your project. Again, just a question. What if someone can do this? Let's move on to cost management. Nothing new here. Every day we have to track expenses, budgets, variance report. You end up most of the project, which I have also seen, typically because of multiple reasons, you eventually end up, going having a cost overrun on the project. Again, there are datas which are scattered. If you have to prepare a report, why there was a cost overrun, you will end up, bugging 10 people. You will have to collect data from different sources, and then you have to present, right? Now, imagine there's a person who is with you, who is tracking each and every penny that you are spending, and who is actually bugging you that, hey, this is not what you are supposed to spend. Now imagine that person who is there with you each and every minute, telling you whether you are on track or not. Okay. Risk. Okay. How traditionally, let's say if you are a very smart project manager, you will be doing a proactive meeting each and every week. You will try to brainstorm with the people. You'll try to understand what are those potential areas where you see some potential issues and risk and issues, and you log it properly. You try to prepare a plan to address those risks, mitigate. You will have everything covered, but you will still end up, missing something or the other, right? Most of the time, the risk gets identified very late in the project. So what we typically see is it typically, when the risk has already been converted into an issue, you understand, oh, there's already an issue. And now, you have to deal with it, right? But what if there's someone who is critically monitoring and who is proactively telling that, hey, this is already a risk which I've identified, and you take care of it, and this is the impact if you don't identify that risk, and and it also gives you a plan to mitigate that risk. Okay, not only identifying, but it also is telling you, hey, these are the top three ways you will be able to mitigate that risk. Now imagine what will happen if we have this kind of person. Stakeholder management. Okay, most of the time, which even I spend today, I have to spend different reports to different people. Somebody will ask only specific information to be shared with them. So I have to again, work on those formats, those agreed formats, those reports, and send those specific information to a particular stakeholders. Then there are certain other reports which I keep on sending. There are certain weekly status, the weekly reports which I keep on updating, to the different community. Imagine the amount of time you just spend two ways, right? First of all, you have to collect all the information. When you're collecting all the information, imagine the time that your team or client or anyone who's spending to provide you that information. Then you collect all those information. Then you have to present those information, and then you have to send those information to different people as per their requirements. And what happens, we all know, if we miss sending or updating some critical information, I'm sure you all would have understood by now how much that impacts us. I know whether it's a reputation, whether it's an escalation, whether it's something that you forgot to escalate at the correct time, right? So there'll be a lot of scenarios where you will end up missing something or the other. Now imagine again, there is a person sitting with you ensuring that all this communication is going out without getting tired 24 cross 7. In fact, also ensuring that there's an acknowledgement. And if there's not an acknowledgement, even following up with that person, right? That, hey, have you acknowledged this? Or, hey, this is pending with you, could you please respond? So yes, I'm sure you would have understand by now who I'm talking about, right? It's the artificial intelligence, Imagine that this is really your assistant with you, sitting with you, next to you, helping you manage everything. Are you guys excited? Or are you guys using this power of AI? Yes, no, you can at least comment even in the question and answers. Come on, guys, I want to see some responses. Okay, at least some response I'm getting. Okay, awesome. So this is what we all know. Now let's jump onto the transformation. Now here is the power, the power of AI. What AI is already doing. Okay. And we all should understand that this is already getting done by AI. If we are not doing it, we are lagging behind. Okay. It's not that, okay, we know AI can do, but if you're not implementing or if you're not doing this, you are really, running in the history, So what AI can do? AI can analyze any amount of data which you give, and it will analyze and recommend, as I told you, what are the optimal decisions at much faster pace. Though I am saying 40%, but I have literally seen, it can really help me like 60 to 70% faster, in faster making decisions. Risk detection, you just provide AI all the details. Let's say I have a scope of work, I have a progress report, I have my current status. I have everything. I have provided the human resource. I provided certain other challenges. And even if you have not provided something, let's say if I just tell AI, hey, go do a search on the web, check if any macroeconomical scenario has changed, whether there is any risk that I am carrying right now. And imagine someone who is going browsing hundreds of sites, hundreds of data, news articles, and then coming back and telling you that, hey, these are some of the risks which you should be looking at. Can humanly we do this? It's not possible as a human, and even if it is possible, it will take you a team of people to do this, and that also we don't know if they'll be right or wrong. But AI is able to do this within seconds and with 100% accuracy. Okay. Cost prediction. Trust me, before couple of years, if you would have come and asked me, hey Viral, can AI really, work with the numbers? And then I would have said, maybe, maybe at times, maybe it gives result, but most of the time it was giving wrong numbers. In last 2 years, and specifically in the last 6 months, with the release of the latest models from Anthropic and OpenAI and Gemini, the amount of correct or the right data that you get from these tools is enormous. You can really trust it. At least you can trust that it would have not made some of the basic mistakes that some of the freshers would make, and it will still give you a much more detailed insight which you can expect only from a good project manager or a good CA or a finance person. So it is able to actually analyze a lot of areas, a lot of touch points, and give you a very detailed cost prediction. And it's almost correct. I have seen that the accuracy is almost 85 to 90%. I'll never say 100% with AI. We all have to understand that there will be those 5 to 10% deviations which we have to do, right? Because we are still human. We should be ensuring that we are validating that. But 80% to 90% of your work is getting done by AI. If you are doing meeting scheduling yourself, traditional way, checking the calendars, asking people when are you available, please stop doing this from today itself. There are a lot of tools which are available which will schedule meetings. So please don't do that manual work. It's a matter of history. If you are doing reporting yourself, if you are generating reports, if you are manually selecting whom should I send those reports, hey, should I send this report today or later, whatever you are doing, you should ensure that you are not doing it manually. This all should be automated by now. Okay. Resource match. I'll give you some example on this resource match because this is very key. Let's say whenever you want to assign some resources, it can be any resource, human resource, your budget resource, any kind of resource you want to assign on a particular task. How do you do this, right? Most of the time, people know couple of parameters. Let's say I want to assign a human for a particular task. I know that I have two, three candidate. I know couple of skills, and then I assign. But most of the time, it's based on the gut feeling. But what if I tell you there is a person who knows 50 different parameters, what that task will need for a person to be successful? What are the skill set of the person? What are the external scenarios? What is the workload that person has? What are some other parameters that that person is going through? What is the history, what is that this person, a particular person has done in the history, and what are his strong points versus what are the areas where he was lagging. And by evaluating more than 50 parameters, if a person, or let's say if this tool is able to assign correct resource for correct amount of time and with the correct way to manage the success or the outcome, then you can imagine, how much benefit that will be for us as a project manager. And that is also possible as we speak today. This is all happening, guys. There's nothing fancy, there's nothing magic, This all is already happening. All the leading organizations are using all these tools to manage their large projects. This is again just a number from PMI itself. 66% of the people have already reported benefits. They are like saving half of their time. So you can imagine, you just, I mean, one way to look at it is maybe I just need to work then 2 hours a day, right? 2 hours a week, sorry, to manage all my work. But that's not what we are going to end up, right? I mean, eventually, if you say, okay, I have automated most of the work, now you feel good about it. But everyone knows, and definitely your leadership knows better, that if first of all, if you are not using this, you are of no use to any organization. If you are using it, you ensure that you are leveraging it and you are managing more work. Because if you don't manage the additional work, there'll be someone else who knows AI, who knows how to use, and then they will start managing it. Okay, let's quickly touch base on a couple of examples. Now, these are the examples which I know personally, which has really, helped the people. So, a predictive analytics and a risk management tool. So, this is what we have already discussed, right? Most of the times you use your past experience to come up with the risk. You do some manual reviews. You spend hours just doing the brainstorming meetings with your team and then verifying, oh, what will happen, what if scenarios, what if I do this versus what I do something else. You prepare 2 3 options for your leadership, that these are some of the ways to mitigate the risk, right? All those things you do manually and then you go and present. This itself takes a lot of time, and by that time maybe the risk itself would have converted into issue. Now imagine all those, even identifying the risk, to generating the what if scenarios, giving the mitigation options for each and every mitigation options, also giving you the analysis of what can go right, what can go wrong, uh, and recommending what is the best option given the scenarios. Now imagine all this is getting done without you scheduling a single meeting. Is it possible? Yes, this is already done. We ourselves have used this in our organization, and trust me, the kind of input that we get is enormous. We would have not got this kind of input even if I would have spent like maybe 5 or 10 hours, deliberating that risk. So this was one of the case study which was published, and yes, they have really analyzed the risk with 50 plus risk indicators. Okay, transformation, intelligent automation. Now, this, guys, I'm again telling you, if you are doing anything traditionally, preparing the report, let's say preparing, working on the Excel, preparing the report, preparing the deck, and again, let's say if I have to send same information, bifurcating or distributing to 10 different stakeholders and customizing those reports specifically for that stakeholders. If you are manually doing that, please stop doing that. There are a lot of tools which are available, and they all will be doing this seamlessly without you even touching your system. You just have to set that automation on. The mails will go, the responses will be logged, and all these things will happen without you spending even a minute once you set this up. So you have to initially set some time and then let that system run into automation mode. I have also given you some of the tools which you can go and start using right now. Now, see, most of these tools, right? Most of these tools provide you a free version. Try it out. If you really feel this tool is suited for you, use it in your organization. If not, try some another tool. There are many tools available. There are some tools which are good, but which comes at a cost. So you have to make that judgment. But yes, I'm always available here. I've tried a lot of tools. If you want my personal feedback on some of the tools, as well as some other tools which you will not see here in the list, but which are really good, please do reach out to me. Meeting scheduling, we have already discussed. Stakeholder updates. The presentation, right? See, most of the times what happens is whenever you are sending the message, many times you are not aligned even on the status of the message or what kind of information you will share, and the key message sometimes gets lost. Let's say you send this some report to 10 different people, and everyone thinks, right? I mean, this is what typically happens. Everyone thinks, hey, what is that I am supposed to do, right, with this information? Now imagine there's a person who is actually sending this information with a clear cut direction to each and every stakeholder that this is what you need to do, this is the ETA by when you should complete it, this is what will happen if you don't do it, and this will be the impact, if this task does not get complete on time. Imagine this thing someone is doing automatically for you each and every day, each and every after each and every meeting. If someone is doing this automatically for you, you can imagine the amount of efficiency you will gain. So this is what I was saying by, ensuring that you are automating the things. Data entry and all, I'm sure most of you have already started using AI to track, to enter the data, right? Resource optimization, we have already touched base on this. A lot of tools are available, right? Now here, see, I'll give you some idea, right? When I'm talking, let me give you some live example. Let's say there is a resource who has a LinkedIn profile. Let's talk about human resource. Assuming that all the information, our source is correct, the garbage in, garbage out concept will apply everywhere, whether it's AI, whether it's your normal day-to-day work, or whether it's in any field, right? Now let's assume that you really know what the person's skill sets are, a very good data set. You also know the history of that person in terms of how that person has done on variety of tasks. You also know his communication style. You also know the soft skills. You also know how that person works under pressure. And when I say means I'm talking about the AI, because AI would have logged all this data over past few months or years, and it has already trained itself on that person. So AI knows very well how that person is going to work or behave in a particular scenario. Now imagine with all this data, there is a new task which is coming, or that there are tasks which you need to assign to a group of people. Now, how you will assign manually, right? Maybe you just check at high level, okay, what are the skill sets, or you ask that people how much bandwidth you have or whatever, right? But imagine that there's someone who knows exactly what is the person workload for next 2 weeks. What are his skill sets? What are the skill sets that this particular task which need to get done will require. I mean, and I'm telling the not only one or two skill set. I'm saying what are those maybe 15 skill set which are needed in terms of completing this task. And imagine the AI tool, giving me a correct prediction that hey, this task should be assigned to this person because this one, two, three, four, five reason. And maybe it is giving me a prediction score also, right? It is saying that AI itself is saying that I'm 90% confident that this person will be able to do the task. Versus AI itself saying that for this task, I'm not much confident, maybe 50% confident that this person will be able to do, but we still have to provide some additional help to this person. Okay. So AI is not blindly saying it will give you that insight also. AI will tell you that yes, I'm 90% confident, I'm 50% confident, I'm 30% confident that this task will be done by that person. So imagine all this is happening without you spending a minute. Okay. Decision intelligence. And this, I'm sure you people have used a lot of AI tools, but you should try. And if you have not tried different models, one exercise which I'm telling you should do is ask your same business statement, same business problem or use case. You ask all the different models. You ask OpenAI model, you ask Gemini model, you ask Anthropic model, and you will understand the kind of difference that each and every model is giving you. In fact, within each and every provider, so let's say Gemini or you say OpenAI, most of the people might be using ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT itself has different models. 5.1 is the latest, but there are within 5.1 there are fast answer models, there are deep thinking models. There's model 5, there's 4.0. There are different models, and each model might give you a different response. The models can also give you a different response if you ask different question, same question different times. If I ask one question today, it can give me one response. If you ask same question tomorrow, it might give you a different response. But the key here is more or less the response will be on a similar line, and it's up to you to ensure that at least you are keeping that eye whether the things are going right or wrong. Okay. So again, this decision intelligence is already built in for any numerical calculations or any serious financial analysis. I still suggest you go and try Anthropic if you have not used it. Those responses were very good, at least based on my understanding or based on my experience. Okay, so all those things eventually will end up increasing your ROI. Now, this percentage can vary, but you can imagine that there's a huge improvement in the way we manage the projects. Okay. And what this will do eventually, from firefighting mode to strategic execution, right? We typically, as a project managers, many people I have seen, they typically run into the firefighting mode. Okay, oh, this has happened. Sorry, let me address this. Let me address this. And they get very less time. Maybe if they spend extra time, then they get that time, maybe late at night, early morning, you start thinking, okay, what are the strategical things that I need to take care of? Where I should invest time? What should I do to, prevent this particular issue or this scenario in future? So those strategic thinking you get very less time during your normal 10 hours or 8 to 10 hours of work in the office. But with this, you will be able to get much more time and you will move from that firefighting mode to a execution mode. Okay. Um, these are some of the tools which I've listed down for you. Again, I'm telling you the amount of tools that you see, these are some of the most used tools. I've used some of the tools, all awesome, but don't stick to these tools. Go search yourself. We can always talk about it. We can collaborate. There are a lot of other tools available in the market, and there are tools which are built for specific purpose. And definitely you see these days there are companies, I mean, maybe there are thousands of companies which are building 10,000s of tools, for each and every cases. So this will keep on changing, but yes, these tools are the leaders, these companies are the leaders. You should definitely try at least to know what AI is already doing for you. Okay. Skills. Okay, these are all fading, and I'll say it's all faded skills. If you're doing manual entry, if you're creating reports, you're already faded. Okay. What you should do is you should all build up your AI literacy. You should start thinking strategically. And definitely, you should always remember that you're human. AI has its own limitations, and you need to know where you still holds a value in this entire AI age. Okay, this is a very common saying. Uh, PMs won't be replaced, but yeah, the person who uses AI will replace. If you ask me, my take here is everyone, everyone, even if we are using AI or not, you might get replaced, and you will get replaced eventually. The only way where you will not be replaced is you need to know what is that thing which is always keeping you one step ahead of AI, and that's our human strategic thinking. So that's what at least I want you people to carry forward. But this is what I have known by now, because whatever you think, oh, I'm smart enough, I can do this. There are already 10 people who has already thought about it and who are already building some automation for it. So nothing is going uh, you know going to be very specific to you or very individual to you. Everyone is working on this. We are all smart project managers, and there are thousands of more project managers, and there are thousands of companies who are already building this automation tool. So you need to know what is that skill which you will have to continuously keep on enhancing to ensure that you remain a step ahead. And that's, if you ask me, again, it's the strategic thinking. It's all about how you think and how you ensure that you're using AI to implement those thinkings. Okay. We are right on time. So, 42 minutes into the session, I'll touch base uh, on this. Pro thoughts, and you all know Ashish. Uh, I know him personally since very long. Very good guy, and this institute, they are doing wonders. I'm sure they have trained almost 7,500 professionals across many cities in India, and the amount of courses, and the, I mean, these are all numbers, but the real impact, if you really ask me, Ashish and his team has done is, imagine the amount of projects all these project managers would have delivered across India, across different industry, different verticals. And imagine, how much impact this would have made to the overall growth of the world, right, across different countries. So yes, um, this is what ProThoughts is about. They have recently launched a course. You all should, be aware of this. There's an upcoming batch which is on 21st December. It's on the AI and managing the project effectively. So see, go to the website and see if you are interested. You can definitely register yourself. Actions. We already discussed this. You need to start your journey. So the best time to start was yesterday. If not, then it's really today. You need to start investing in yourself from today, from this very moment. Just ensure that you are investing in yourself by learning AI. Start with the AI, and then I'm sure, once you get, in this 20 years, I've never been more excited than I'm right now. If you ask me, even I'll say I was not even excited during the first month of my career or first week of my career, because this is an age where each and every day, I see a news, I see a new model getting released, I see a new company, releasing their tool, a new use case which has generated. So the amount of excitement in the industry is so high, and you can really imagine, how fast we are moving. Something which would have taken maybe months or years to develop or close, now it's getting literally done in hours and minutes. I'm able to develop an entire app over the weekend, again doing the vibe coding, being from the technology background. But it's not only limited to technology. I have seen people who are from different industry taking help of AI and pivoting themselves into a different career. So yes, you need to start this. Make a list, go still make a list. Use your pen and paper, make a list of all the things that you are doing manually now, and see if there is a tool which is available. Pick one tool, try it, ensure that you understand what are the power of the tools, and then start automating, that particular task. And definitely there are lots of certifications which are available. Ensure that you are taking full leverage of the information that is available at your leverage. Okay, then I hope all of you were following, because I could not get a lot of touch points with you. I always prefer these sessions, to be more live sessions, in terms of, where people are there, we can see each other face, we can see each other reactions. And this is the limitation of AI, but who knows, right? In future, maybe there is a video where AI is capturing all the emotions, and then it is giving me a live feedback in terms of how respond, what are the responses, for each and every participants. But yeah, so this is what we have covered. All the concepts we have covered. We have covered the PM code, the transformation journey, and then definitely we all need to start uh, upgrading ourselves. So I'll now open the floor for question and answers. Let me know if you people have questions. Um, I'll check, and then yeah. Um, I still don't see any questions, but yeah, let me know if you have questions, and then I'll try to answer. Yeah. Um, So Vaskar is asking, in terms of Gen AI versus AGI, what are the activities that can support in terms of project management? So yeah, a lot, right? So Gen AI is something that we are already having right now. It's the generative AI. It is able to think, it is able to execute, right? And it is able to generate the new content. So that we are already able to do. AGI is something you will see in next couple of years, if I go very aggressive, but definitely, in 4 5 years, you will have artificial general intelligence. So uh, the lot of things which we are already doing with the help of Gen AI. When we will move to AGI, you know, you can see that most of the task will be automated by AI itself. So let's say today you still define that, hey, these are my stakeholder. I want to, send this kind of reports to them. I'll discuss with them, okay, is this report good and all those stuff, right? And then you create your automation routine. Now imagine when AGI is there, you are not even required for that task, because AGI knows by itself what are those stakeholders, what kind of information they will need. AGI itself will automate all those flows. It will itself send the message, and it will itself, articulate the entire process. So this is what AGI will do without even a single human intervention. Are you able to get? You can all use uh, the chat window to confirm, ask questions. Yeah. Yeah. What will be the role of PM for AGI, right? I'm sure, this question was going to come, right? So that's what, guys, we still are human, and then we know how to think critically, and we still need to ensure that whatever AGI is doing is correct or not. Now, okay, so here is the thing, right? In future, again, in future, someone may ask, uh, how can someone say whether AGI is right or PM is right? Because AGI, it's trained on lakhs of data, millions of data. It knows how hundreds of projects in a given industry. Let's say take a infrastructure industry. It is trained on hundreds of projects of different sizes, right? On infra industry, and it knows each and everything. It knows all the market scenarios. So someone can definitely ask that why AGI cannot manage everything, and what is the role of PM? The only thing which we all should remember right now is whatever AI is doing, it's still based on the data that it is fed to. It it is able to generate new data. Okay, you'll have to understand this very carefully. AI is able to generate new data, but still the base is the data that it is already trained on, or it already knows. Versus we as a human, we have that capability to think something which nobody would have thought. So uh, creativity is a term, if I have to describe you in one word, right, Vaskar, how creative you can be in future will give you that answer whether we, you, or anyone else is needed as a PM or not. If we are creative, yes. If we are not creative, thank you. We already have AI, and AI will take care of everything. So AI PMP, whereas which one is the best to choose? I think so. This one is something, I'll have or Ashish, he will help you with this answer. But yes, see, PMP is PMP. Uh, what we all need to know is now there's nothing separate like AI PMP or PMP. Every project manager needs to be a AI literate. You need to understand what are the things that AI can do, and you should know and you should be using it, if you have to be a successful PM. Yeah, there are lots of certifications which are already being offered. I'll request Kushal, if you can go to the website, just go through the list. If you have any queries, there is a team of people who will definitely help you with that. Is it necessary to learn or complete a course in artificial intelligence before pursuing PMP certification? I think so. Both has to go parallel, guys. Again, there's nothing. See, there's there's no question. Please understand, there's no question. Should I learn AI today or can I learn tomorrow? You have to learn it. You were supposed to learn it yesterday. Then today is the best time. So that's not a question. You all have to learn. Yes, whether uh, PMP certification, before pursuing PMP certification, I'll say it can go in parallel, but you cannot say I'll do first PMP and then I'll learn it. So the whole point is AI, you all should know. Can AGI will be able to capture human emotion, behavior, leadership? Yes. So AGI will be able to do a lot of things, but then some of these things which you are asking me, Vaskar, and good, I think so. You already have done a good AI literacy. At least you seems to be an AI literate. But yes, AGI will be able to do a lot of things. But let's say if you ask me, can AGI have a conscious like how human beings have? I think so. Then we are slightly hitting that line of ASI. And ASI, once it comes, then which is artificial super intelligence, then even I don't know whoever I have spoke to, all the leads in the AI industry, those are the people who are leading a lot of industry, industry leaders. They are the founders of the startups and all. Nobody knows what will happen once AGI is there with us. Okay. So touchwood, Elon Musk is saying AGI will be here by 2030. Let's it's very aggressive, but let's assume that even if it is there by 2040, we in our lifetime will see, and only time will answer that question, what will happen once the AGI is here. Okay. Um, can I have access to the recording? I'll check with my team, but definitely, we'll see if we can give you the recording or we can give you the access of the site itself. Okay. Any more questions? Feel free to reach out. We'll be here to answer. And yeah, definitely connect with me over LinkedIn for sure. And then we will see if you people have any questions or if you just want to chat about AI.
Uh, Viral, no, I'm from ProThoughts. Just to answer one of the questions.
Right.
Yeah. So, Kaushal, you asked about how ProThoughts AI certification training is aligned with PMI. The ProThoughts AI certification training is aligned with the CPMI course from PMI. So it's definitely aligned, but we are just giving the training. And if you wish to pursue a certification, we can arrange for that after 3 months because PMI is going to launch after 3 months. So that's the answer for that. And yeah, and if you have more questions, Rahul, about when to do PMP and artificial intelligence, both are different certifications. And as no Viral said, there is no parallel among that. So just approach us and we'll happy to help you on that. And we give the recordings of the webinar. It is uploaded on the YouTube.
Okay. Are we done with the poll? Then I'll just say thank you, guys. I hope all of you have got some good insights into the AI. And yes, let's AI, right? I'll say let's AI, and then ensure that we are all upskilling. And yes, let's this is a power which is available at our hand for free. So ensure that you all are leveraging it. Okay. Thank you all. Good evening. Good night.